What's up, everybody? How are you all doing? Happy Thursday. Okay, so it's me, Ivy the Great, or Ivy the Great One. I hope everybody has had an amazing week. We are officially pretty much done with February, and the first 2 months I know for sure have been a complete whirlwind for many with this new administration. However, I wanted to make sure that I provided you all with at least six different tips and strategies that you can use to survive the Trump administration. I know a lot of people are upset. I know a lot of people are concerned as well. I understand that there is a lot of outrage, but if you still choose to focus on your goals, what you want to accomplish this year, there is still an amazing chance for you to not only survive, but also to thrive. All right. So we're going to get into it. I have my little note. So give me 1 second. Okay. One of the first things I want you all to understand that is that what we're talking about first and foremost is how to build, how to stay ahead, and how to win. I want you all to be completely focused on that this year. There will be distractions all year. The more you're distracted, the more you're not focused on your goals. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do. Okay, are you ready? Do you have your pen and paper? All right. First thing is let's upgrade our skills. Let's upgrade our skills. Let's get into some high paying roles, high paying careers. All of these careers do not require a 4 year degree. All of these careers, or not all of these careers, require a 4 year degree. Not all of these careers require a degree, period. There are so many ways for you all to get certificates and licenses that can help you pave the way into an in-demand, high-income earning job. Some of those jobs are in tech, some of those jobs are in healthcare, but guess what? Some of those jobs are just blue collar jobs. Okay, and I want us to understand that we need to get out of, we need to make sure that we're not getting paid $15 an hour. If that's what you're focused on, definitely it's time to raise the bar. It's time to set the bar quite a bit higher. Again, tech, AI, cybersecurity, healthcare. When I say blue collar jobs, I'm referring to manufacturing, plumbing, HVAC, roofing, construction. There are so many positions, engineering, civil engineering, as well as technical engineering. There are lots of positions that you can secure and acquire to get into your bag. So, first and foremost, take inventory of your skills. Take inventory of your skills. Look at where industries are headed. Look at what the American economy is forecasting as the future jobs in demand, and make sure that your skills line up with something inside of where our economy is headed. That way, you know for sure I will be able to, number one, continue to grow my career, continue to get paid, be in my bag, and be financially secure. I've said it before. I'll try to make sure I always say it on this channel. Financial freedom is the only freedom. That's one of the reasons why I named this channel Fortune and Freedom. I want you all to get to your fortune so then you can get to your freedom. You won't be able to get to your freedom. Okay, I'm a Southern girl. Okay, so there's spiritual freedom in the church, but that spiritual freedom is not gonna, you know, it's not gonna give you freedom on the other side right here on earth. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. And then also, if you have skills, if you've been in your job for, I would say honestly, like more than 2 to 3 years, it's likely time for you to tip tap on that laptop. Okay, get on LinkedIn, get on Indeed, get on some job posting websites and see. Okay, now I've been in my career, you've learned more, you've executed more, you know more about your industry, you've had some learning lessons from your current role. How can you take your skills, your expertise, and your knowledge and parlay that into a higher paying job? Lots of people job hop. Job hopping is a huge hack. Just keep that in mind. All right. Next, number two, once we get these new positions, we have to live below our means. 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 If you're able to gain skills and to earn more income, the first thing that you should do is either figure out how do you reduce some of your bills or most definitely keep your bills the same. I get it. We get excited. Now we're making more money. We can do more. But the number one thing is to make sure that your overhead expenses for your household and for your lifestyle remain the same. Enjoy. Enjoy your life. I get it. You may only live once. I've lived a couple of times. We're not going to go into that. But I get it. Some of you all are on this YOLO mindset, and that's totally fair. However, living below your means will help you to definitely create a bigger path to wealth. Also, cut out unnecessary expenses. Once you are able to secure a higher income, or even in the income bracket that you're in now, you can take a look at what you're spending money on and figure out how can you reduce those expenses. Okay. So that's words to the wise. The next thing, I want us to say it together. Number 3, this is a big one. How do we survive? How do we thrive during this Trump administration? I get it. We're upset. Some people are big mad. Some people are big mad. I want you to get big glad. Start buying assets. Real estate, stocks, ETFs, index funds, insurance policies. Real estate, stocks, index funds, ETFs, insurance policies. Even if you have money at the bank, make sure it's in a high yielding savings account. You should not have your money in a regular banking savings account. We need to get into earning compound interest. Compound interest. Okay. So understand that if your cash is sitting there and doing for you, that dollar can oftentimes be invested and can be actually making money for you. Okay. So that's number 3. That's a big one. I definitely want us to get into investing. There is a lot of information and data around many other demographics having more of their creating more wealth and having more of their wealth in the stock market. And I want us, especially as ladies, I definitely want us to start getting aligned with that. Real estate is also an amazing asset. But once we secure the house and we're happy and we're stable, the next immediate thing needs to be assets. And if you're currently renting, you can still invest in the stock market. That's one thing about it. Maybe you're renting, maybe you're not in a position to purchase a home. You're still in a position to download. There are multiple apps that can help you enter into the stock market. There are multiple brokerages that you can open up online, and you can attach those dollars to an index fund or ETF. And so these are things that we can do to create wealth and to purchase assets, regardless of if you're in a position to purchase a home or not. So I want us to get out of this year. Listen, this year, we're not making excuses. The excuses are not cute. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can trauma bond with somebody over them, not me. But what I'm saying is that the excuses, we need to transition out of the excuses. All right, I'm moving on. Again, okay. So yes, we are buying assets. We're not just buying vibes anymore. I get it. I love a good brunch, and when I go to brunch and when I go to dinner, the tabs are the tabs. But I do try to make sure that, not even try to make sure, when I'm going out and enjoying myself, I've already done all of the things that I need to do, including investing in assets. I've already satisfied any and all obligations that I have. And I've also already invested in my future. And yes, I am also a mother. So I've also invested in my children's future. And now everything from that point is, the play, hey, hey, hey money. All right. So the next thing, again, I want us to also to thrive. Let's get into protecting our health. Let's get into protecting our wealth. Let's get into some fitness. Let's get into some healthcare. Let's start taking care of our bodies. Okay, because let me tell you this. If you don't have insurance, this may be mean. If you don't have life insurance and you don't have assets, You better have good health, because what if something happens to you? What are you going to do? What are you going to rely on? What are your children going to rely on? If something physically happens to you, if you're disabled for a period of time, there are policies that can cover that. But if you haven't invested in any of these policies, things just become more difficult. Okay. And if something happens to you that is detrimental, I mean, especially if it's health wise, if you pass away due to something health wise, I understand accidents happen, all types of other things happen. But if you pass away due to something health wise, something that is controllable, there are lots of diseases, you can look that up. Lots of these things are controllable. No shade to anybody, but that's what the data shows. That's what the science shows. You need to make sure at the very least, number one, you either have good health or you have a great life insurance policy. We need to get out of this praying for our healing. I can go on and on, but I'm going to try to not, be too shady. But that's number four. Our health is extremely important. And not only our physical health, also our mental health. I really want us to become mentally healthy. And I get it. Some of us are still suffering from PTSD. And I'm not talking about stress. Yes, some of it's stress, some of it's post-traumatic slave syndrome. I understand. But we need to get to the point where we are mentally healthy, mentally focused. Guess what? If you're stressed out about money, your mental health also deteriorates because you're constantly worried about how are you going to meet obligations. So you really don't even have time to think of some of the things that you can do that can actually help you generate more money and create more stability. Okay. We're getting healthy this year. All it takes is like a 20-minute walk. A 20-minute walk at a decent pace is like a mile. Easy. That walk can give you the ability to clear your mind, get some sunlight, get steps in, make sure that your heart is healthy, and then just give you the ability to just think and breathe. Okay. So, number five, this one's going to be a tough one, but I want you all to know this is a strategy. Some of us need to get married. A lot of us do. I'll probably do another video on this. I'm sorry, I'm thirsty. I'll probably do another video on this, but I'm almost just wondering, like, you remember when they said like crack was, I guess, placed in the like in the Black community? I'm almost wondering, like, were these 50-50 conversations placed in our community for us to, stop appreciating each other, stop, wanting partnership with each other? I feel like those 50-50 conversations those are the conversations that have hurt relationship building, especially for the African American community. Some of those conversations needed to be had. They should have been had a long time ago, but I think like we've gotten caught in a hamster wheel. Like we talked about it. We have beat that horse to it is dead, and now it is back alive. But guess what? Married couples still, they create more wealth. Married couples create more wealth than couples who live together and people who are unwed. And no, like I've been married before, but I'm not currently married. But I do want it to be understood. Like, so I'm not thirsty for marriage. However, I understand and I do still value marriage. Some of you all have been through things and you're like, some of you all have never seen your mom or your dad married, and that's another situation for another day. Some of you all have been through some difficult things. I understand all of that, but just understand that two are better than one. Two incomes are better than one. So guess what? Listen, if you're not getting married, find a way to increase your income. All right. But I do want us to get back to valuing the institution of marriage. Many of our other minority, non-white counterparts, they are creating wealth because of a couple of reasons. They're buying homes, they're starting businesses, they're married, and they're not having children at a young age, and most of the times they're not having children before they're married. So we just have to look at that. It is what it is. We have to look at that. We have to swallow that pill. We have to accept it, and we have to make some choices. But I am encouraging you, all of you all, to figure out how can you acquire a relationship, put yourself in a position to create and sustain a relationship that can lead to marriage. All right, done with that one. And okay, talked about that. We talked about wealth. All right, last but not least, this is a big one. And I do think that the Black community is really suffering here as well. We need to build community. Community. Okay. We need community, not communion, community. Okay. We need to get rallied around each other. And I'm not talking about rallied around each other to be mad at the present administration. That's not going to do us any good. We need to create community and a safe space for us where, number one, if we need something, now we are back to having our community. I get it. Everybody is upset about President, okay, Donald, the JS for jumping Trump. But we have to understand we have, some of you all have, not me. Okay, I'm not really in that one. But I do want to say that some people have contributed to the deterioration of the Black community. You know, we were stronger. You can go back and look at data when we knew what it was, when we knew who didn't like us. We knew people didn't like us, and we knew what we needed was each other. And we really need to get back to that. Oftentimes I've seen it. You all have seen it. Excuse me. We judge Black businesses harder than we judge any other business. We judge Black restaurants harder than we judge any other restaurants. I saw Clarissa Shields. She made a little post doing a little dance. You know, I don't really know a lot about this and that. But what I did do was when I clicked on, the post, because it was cute. So many, like, everybody saying on Clarissa Shields. Okay, everybody hated on Kendrick Lamar. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, and not to layer that with things like Black on Black crime, murders, um, women. It happens in the man space too. But there are a lot of times where women, we can support each other so much more. And instead of us doing that, we just want to feel like, oh, I'm a little bit better than her because I have a boyfriend. Like, some of y'all don't even have husbands, and y'all be trying to feel like you all are better than somebody. And we need to just get out of that, because when you think it still comes across in your energy. And also what can happen is it still wears on the fabric of us creating more community, us relying on each other more. So, anytime I need to go to a doctor, um, almost anytime I need anything, okay, outside of something that I can physically do, I am looking within my community. Always, always. From pediatricians, dentists, everybody. I'm trying to see, can I help my dollars circulate a little bit more within my community? And so I really do encourage you all to do that, and do it with the goodness of your heart. And let's stop being so judgmental towards each other. It's one thing to correct somebody, but what some of what you all like to do is just put somebody on blast. I mean, you can go on that. You can see that on social media. I feel like I don't really have to double down on that. But oftentimes I see us hating on our successful people more than other people. I see us not supporting us more than other people. If we want DEI, we can just start circulating our dollars within our own community, okay? So anyway, that was it. I'm gonna run back through them really, really quickly. Number one, we're gonna level up our skills. We're gonna do some inventory. Where am I? How much money can I make right now? With what I have, what I know, how much money can I make? How far can that get me? Now, how much money can I make? How far can I get me? And what is the future saying that I need? And how can I put myself in position to get there? All right, number two, we're gonna live below our means. Once we do get into a bigger bag, once we do get that higher salary, once we do start creating more income in our jobs, we're going to still live at or below our means. We're not going to start making more money just to spend more money. Doesn't really sound right, right? Okay. We're also going to buy assets, real estate, stock, ETFs, index funds, insurance policies. We talked about it, but we're going to make sure that 2025, I am going to own some stock. 2025, I am going to buy a home. 2025, I'm going to make sure I have insurance policies. That's what I'm going to do. That's what you're saying to yourself, because I'm doing that. But that's what we're saying to ourselves. All right. Number four, we're going to protect our health. We're going to protect our wealth. Of course, insurance policies do that, but we're also talking about just protecting our mental space, protecting our spiritual space. Listen, if getting on social media every single day, watching the same stuff, and just hearing other people regurgitate it with their little hot sauce on it because they're mad and they just whatever. Listen, that's not good for your mental health. If that stuff is making your blood pressure go up, if it's making you angry, if it's making you frustrated, I encourage each and every one of you to just retrain your algorithm. Unfollow people, put them on snooze, say I'm not interested in this content. Honestly, if it's not like providing you knowledge, helping you to make more money, making you laugh, I mean, giving you wisdom. I honestly feel like if you need to know what's going on with the world, you can go to social media, or you can just find a news outlet that you trust and you can just tap in with that in the morning or midday. And I think sometimes people, what we have to realize is on social media, people are taking something, they're digesting it through their perspective, and then they're just projecting their fear and their anger on you. And when you're scrolling and you're getting upset, you're just eating that up. And I don't know what that's doing for you. I don't think it's doing a lot for you. All right. We're also gonna, what's up? We can get married. Okay, sweetie. No, like 10. But yeah, we can get married. We can get married. We can build families and we can build family wealth. We're gonna stop dating for 5 to 8 years. Okay. Also, honestly, like, yeah, this is my dad. This is my little thing right here. Let me see which one. Yeah, because sometimes, yeah, I always keep that there because it's real funny. Dead. Okay. Um, Also, everybody has a skull. Okay, so I know some of my church people gonna be like, "Oh my God, she has a skull." Everybody has one. We all have one. If you don't have a skull, I'm sure you can look up online what it looks like if you don't have a skull, and you won't look the way you look. All right. But yes, we're gonna focus on like getting married. We're gonna get out of this hypersexuality, especially if you're a black woman. We're gonna get out of this. We're gonna really get out of having kids out of wedlock. Okay, 2025. This is it. If you're pregnant right now, cool. Okay. If you're not pregnant, don't get pregnant unless you're married. I'm I'm not even talking about it from a church perspective. I'm talking about it from a money and a wealth building perspective. All right. And then last but not least, we are going to build community. Who can you reach out to? And I'm talking about reaching up, reaching down, reaching sideways. Who are some people you can say, hey, would you mind talking to me about your career? Would you mind, telling me some of the steps that you took? Can I take you to coffee? Can I take you to lunch? Who can we tell? Who can we look at? Look, I mean, not down, but across somebody who's up and coming, and say, hey, here are some mistakes you can avoid. When you go to apply for this job, this is the way that you do it. When you go into your interview, this is the way that you do it. XYZ. We're going to reach across. Okay. Let's run this race together. You're in your lane. I'm in my lane, but let's hold each other accountable to our goals. Let's hold each other accountable to the things that we said we were going to do. Let's get out of trauma bonding. We're not trauma bonding this year. We're not talking about family drama. We're not talking about ex relationship drama. We're done with it. We're definitely not talking about reality TV shows because some of you all trauma bond over trauma that's not even yours, but that's another conversation for another day. Anyway, it's me, Ivy the Great, and those are your 6 power moves. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share this content, subscribe, do all the stuff. And yeah, let me know what you think. 6 power moves to survive the Trump administration. I will likely post a few more of these, but yeah, have a wonderful night and cheers. My drink is almost gone, but have a good night.